Before Detroit opened the gates to last year's NFL draft, organizers predicted as many as 400,000 people could attend. After the last pick was announced on Saturday, the NFL reported a record 775,000 people made it inside the draft footprint.
In Detroit we saw they had a beautiful weekend, some really nice afternoons and evenings, and that drew in people from nearby.
Even after seeing the crowds in Detroit, Green Bay's draft organizers have kept their attendance projection at about 240,000 people.
I think that if you're a football fan, this is your reason to go to draft, because you get to do two things. You get to come to the NFL draft, which hands down is one of the greatest events ever, but you also get a reason to come to Green Bay and go to Lambeau Field. And I think that it's almost a pilgrimage of football.
John Barker oversees the production of the NFL's tentpole events. This is his 7th draft.
Are there any challenges with that you've come across planning for Green Bay, considering we're so much smaller than any other NFL market?
No, we haven't. It goes back to the fact that, and that's the beauty of draft, it's the beauty of Super Bowl. Everything is adaptable. Everything is malleable. Everything is changeable. So we don't put a draft in a box and say, this is draft, and bring it to you and open it up and take it out and go, here's drafts. We come to the city and think about, well, how do we produce a draft for this city?
Barker and every other organizer we spoke with in the past week agree that weather will decide if attendance is below or above expectations. The NFL tracks attendance with its OnePass app. The draft is free to attend, but people have to register using the app. A majority of draft attendees drive to the event. In 2021, when the draft was in Cleveland, 69% of people came from a drivable market. 2 years ago in Kansas City, it was 57%. About 2/3 of attendees stay in hotels, 64% in both Cleveland and Kansas City.
I really think given, it's a free event, we'll see people make that commitment to come much closer than we're used to as far as game day. We all know when the schedule comes out, people are planning the entire season, and that's not the case for an event like this.
A search of Booking.com shows 88% of hotels in Green Bay are unavailable the night before the draft starts. The average price when searching for a room for 4 people is $788. In Appleton, 78% of hotels are unavailable. The average price, $421. In Oshkosh, a search doesn't show a percent of hotels that are unavailable, likely meaning stock isn't as scarce. The average price, $255. Booking.com shows unavailability and price are both higher on the prime Thursday night of the draft. In Green Bay, 92% of the hotels are unavailable. The average price, $988. In Appleton, the rate is also 92%, with average price at $564. In Oshkosh, 81% of hotels are unavailable, with the average price of those available at $395. Brad Toll of Discover Green Bay says he's confident all hotels, including surrounding areas, will fill up by the time the draft comes.
They manage that no different than a game day, and as it gets closer and closer, you fill the last few rooms that you have available.
Has anyone had to lower room prices at all, or is it just kind of where they put them at initially?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. I think they're still, hoping that as it draws closer, the demand will be there.
At the end of December, Fox 11 reported the average price of 6 available hotels in Appleton was between $400 and $504 a night between Wednesday and Saturday of draft week. 6 weeks later, the average price for the same hotels has gone up for Thursday and Friday. It went down for Wednesday and stayed the same for Saturday.
So I guess what would be your advice then to maybe people who are looking to rent out their house? Just hold steady, it'll come?
I think so. So it's just a matter of watching the market, seeing what's selling, what isn't, and adjusting accordingly as it gets closer.
So what happens if the draft is so well attended that capacity is reached inside the event's gates? As part of our coverage this week of progress reports on where things are at with draft planning, we're providing a bonus report. You can catch that tomorrow night on Fox 11 News at 9. In Green Bay, Ben Krumholz, Fox 11 News.